Good morning. I am R.Ramos and I'm a paralegal for Kimberly Iwao. I will be taking her place in representing Miss Haunani Flo for this case. Miss Flo is here today to dispute her termination from Lava Bar and Grill on January 4, 2017, which under Hawaii Revised Statute Section 383-30 Part 2 disqualifies her for benefits, specifically unemployment insurance benefits. My client has been unemployed since her time at the Lava Bar and Grill. She has not been successful at finding another work to support her daily life. Madam Adjudicator, we will present facts of this case that will prove Miss Flo was targeted with unethical treatment by management at the Lava Bar and Grill, which eventually led to her wrongful termination. Miss Flo worked for Lava Bar and Grill for 2 years. This is proof that she was a good employee who had the knowledge and skills to do her work. She made technical mistakes at work, but she has always been honest. Today we will present facts that will come from the testimonies of both parties, as well as evidence that can assist in understanding the real reason why her former manager, Mr. Stone, decided to terminate my client. Miss Flo is requesting that she be allowed to receive the unemployment insurance benefit she deserves, and we ask that you rule in our favor. Thank you. Miss Flo, please state your full name and your affiliation with Lava Bar and Grill.
My name is Haunani Flo, and I used to work at the Lava Bar and Grill. I worked there from December 20, 2015 through January 4, 2017. Mr. Stone was my boss.
How would you describe the nature of your employment at the Lava Bar and Grill?
I like my work as a waitress at the restaurant. I like the pay, and I never had trouble with anybody, but that changed after the night of December 13, 2016.
What happened on December 13?
It was a Tuesday, and we usually close the restaurant at 10 p.m. on Tuesdays. Everyone was gone by 10:30 p.m. I was the last one at the restaurant with Mr. Stone. We were trying to fix one of the registers after it malfunctioned, and I volunteered to help and stay for a bit. I wanted to go home after we fixed the register, and I was getting in my car when Mr. Stone came up to me and asked me out to dinner with him. I don't like him like that, and I'm not about to go to a date with my boss, so I turned him down.
What did Mr. Stone say after you declined his invitation?
He said that he would take me to Le Bernardin. It's a really fancy French restaurant.
And how did you respond then?
I told him I wanted to go home, so I couldn't. Then he said bye.
How was the work environment after this event?
It was pretty bad. Mr. Stone started to be rude to me. Whenever I tried to talk to him, he would either tell me to go to someone else or not even say anything. And he would scold me in front of everyone sometimes. He never did that before.
Did Mr. Stone do anything else that seemed unprofessional to you?
Yes. He gave me a written warning for breaking some expensive glasses at work. It was worth $120, which I admit was my fault. However, he took out the $120 from my paycheck without my knowledge. I wasn't able to pay my cell phone bill that month because of that.
What did you do when you discovered the deduction from your paycheck?
Came in for my shift on January 4 of this year, and I confronted Mr. Stone about that. My shift just started, so I didn't have much time to talk to him. I did tell him that I would report him to the Department of Labor for deducting the money off my paycheck without my knowledge and consent.
What else happened on January 4?
Later that same day, I saw a couple of my childhood friends who now live in the mainland. They were born and raised here in Hawaii. They were only away 2 months before they came to visit me at the restaurant. I decided to give them kamaaina discount for their drinks and thought it was appropriate because I saw Mr. Stone give out kamaaina discounts plenty times. My friends paid for their drinks with a discount. I didn't give it to them for free. Somehow, one of my coworkers told Mr. Stone that I gave away free drinks. Mr. Stone came right away and fired me on the spot for violation of company policy.
Did Mr. Stone specify which company policy you violated that day?
No, he did not.
Thank you, Miss Flo. That is all. Madam Adjudicator, that concludes my direct examination. Now that we've heard the case from both sides, Ms. Ramos, you can continue with your cross-examination of the defendant. Yes, Madam Adjudicator. Mr. Stone, can you please state your full name and your affiliation with my client, Haunani Flo?
My name is Manny Stone and I am the manager of Lava Bar and Grill, a restaurant that operates under Volcano Hotel, which I am the general manager of for 30 years now. I was the one responsible for hiring Miss Flo and was her manager for the duration of her employment until January 4 of this year when I terminated her for poor work performance in violation of company policy.
Mr. Stone, can you explain why you terminated Miss Flo on January 4?
Yes, I can. Miss Flo has been consistently providing poor work performance, which has negatively affected the business as a whole in the matters of building good rapport with customers and maintaining good morale with the team. She can't handle a big crowd, unlike the rest of her former co-workers. I have witnessed several customers walk out due to her taking too long to serve them. She has also spilled drinks on customers and cracked expensive glassware. It was getting worse. Then on January 4, another employee of mine approached me and informed me that she witnessed Miss Flo serve free drinks to her friends. This was the last straw, and I decided then to terminate Miss Flo before she harms the business any further with her terrible work ethics.
And what company policy did Miss Flo violate that day?
It is specifically indicated in our company handbook that unauthorized distribution, sale, or transfer of alcohol in the workplace can be subject to disciplinary action up to and including termination. Ms. Flo is required to read and agree to all rules of conduct mentioned in the handbook to be employed in our establishment, and she is aware of this.
Thank you, Mr. Stone. Madam Adjudicator, I would like you to take a look at this receipt provided to us by Leilani Kiaka. This was Miss Flo's friend's transaction on January 4. I would also like you to see Miss Flo's paycheck that was issued to her on January 3, 2017. Thank you. Here's a copy for you, Mr. Stone, and for your attorney. I would like the receipt to be marked as Exhibit A and for the pay statement to be marked as Exhibit B. As you can see from Exhibit A, Miss Flo's friend, Miss Kiaka, paid $51.71 for her and her friend's meal that day. Notice the part of the expense that states Kamaaina 30% in the middle of the receipt. Mr. Stone, can you confirm a button in the restaurant's POS system that automatically deducts the discount for local customers?
Yes, I can confirm. However, this function is applicable only to me and my assistant manager, Mrs. Gloria Chen. Everyone who works at the restaurant knows this. No one is to utilize the discount button without mine or Mrs. Chen's approval.
My client wasn't aware of this rule. Have you or Mrs. Chen personally informed Ms. Flo of this rule at any time during her employment?
Objection calls for speculation.
Sustained. Ms. Ramos, provide Mr. Stone with questions he can answer directly. Yes, Madam Adjudicator. Mr. Stone, have you yourself informed Ms. Flo of the Kamaaina discount policy, either verbally or in writing?
I don't remember. I may have.
Is that a yes or a no?
I don't know.
Very well. I would now like your attention towards Exhibit B, Ms. Flo's paycheck from Lava Bar and Grill on January 3 of this year. Notice the bottom part of the page that states current deductions. Mr. Stone, can you explain why there is a deduction of $120 on Ms. Flo's paycheck?
On December 15, 2016, Ms. Flo cracked $120 worth of glassware while carrying out her duties. She failed to perform competently that day by getting distracted at a commotion that was occurring on the other side of the room. This caused her to lose her footing and fall to the ground, along with $120 worth of glassware.
Did Ms. Flo authorize this deduction in writing?
No.
Did you apply for a formal request for this deduction in the proper court as required by Hawaii Revised Statute Section 388-6?
No.
Alright, Mr. Stone. Can you confirm that you invited Ms. Flo to dinner on the night of December 13, 2016?
Yes, we had to work longer than usual due to the broken register, and Miss Flo was kind enough to stay back and help me fix it. I wanted to thank her by providing her with a free dinner.
How did Ms. Flo respond to your invitation?
Objection. Cumulative.
Objection sustained. Ms. Ramos, this matter has already been brought up in the previous examinations. Please avoid repeating questions that have already been answered. Yes, Madam Adjudicator. Mr. Stone, did you invite Ms. Flo to dinner on the night of December 13 of last year with the intention of starting a personal relationship with her?
Objection. Leading question.
Objection overruled. Mr. Stone, you may answer the question.
Yes.
On December 15 of last year, you issued a written warning to Miss Flo. Have you given Miss Flo a written warning prior to that date?
No, but I have verbally reprimanded her several times.
Thank you, Mr. Stone. That will be all. Madam Adjudicator, today you've heard all of the relevant facts of this case that point towards Lava Barn Grill's wrongful termination of my client, Miss Flo. Miss Flo has worked for Lava Barn Grill diligently for 2 years, but as what was revealed today, her former employer, Mr. Stone, had written her off as an inadequate employee after she refused to welcome his inappropriate advances. After that event, Mr. Stone clearly showed signs of retaliation against Miss Flo's action. She was treated rudely at work, withheld money from her paycheck, and was terminated due to policy violation by her employer, who failed to investigate my client's supposed violation of company policy. Mr. Stone's disrespectful treatment to Miss Flo did not exist prior to December 13 of last year, before she turned him down for a date. Miss Flo would not be struggling to find the means to support herself at this moment had her employer taken the proper protocol to deal with the misunderstanding that happened on January 4. Madam Adjudicator, Miss Flo was discharged from Lava Barn Grill, but it was a wrongful discharge that was executed by an authority who was unable to think reasonably when it came to my client. We ask that you rule in our favor and agree that Miss Flo should not be disqualified for benefits due to the facts that were presented to you today. Thank you.